Hey, how we doing everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, and in this video, I know it's Sunday, NFL day, but NBA games are still going on, so I'm going to give you my favorite NBA player props for today. So hopping on OddsJam, finding these awesome player prop bets. So let's get into it. This first one that I want to lock in here, I know he's playing a lot better recently, give him credit for that, but Ben Simmons under 6.5 assists is such a good value. This is at plus 100 at Fox Bet. The OddsJam no vig odds price this at about minus 116. Pretty insane value there. These odds, of course, pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world in terms of pricing odds. So OddsJam back tested all this historical data, previous betting opportunities, to determine what sports books consistently over the course of time do the best job at pricing odds and use those sports books to set the markets moving forward. So in this case, this Ben Simmons one, all of the smart sports books, the best in the world at pricing odds, think this should be priced at about minus 116. Fox Bet is giving it to us at plus 100. So right off the bat, that's an awesome value between the OddsJam perfect line, these no vig odds here, in the book that we are betting it at. All in all, excuse me, equates to a profit margin, and that's what this percent here dictates, of about 7.5%, 7.49. So every $100 bet on this play, you could figure to profit $7.50, which is pretty good. It's the highest one of the day. As you can see, most of them hover between, 7.5 and 2 down to almost less than 1%. So this one's really good. And the reason why I like it, so obviously you know that because there's a huge gap between these two numbers, it's going to be a good play. But the reason why I like this one so much is if you click open a play, which is what I have done here, and you look at where every other book prices it, look at where these books price this Ben Simmons under 6.5 assists. At the end of the day, when you're betting on sports, even especially with player props, you're looking to find outliers across all of the betting markets, right? You'd be surprised over how often these sports books, I guess I should say how good most of the sports books are at pricing odds, but every sports book can't be 100% accurate 100% of the time. So that's what OddsJam does for you. It's pulling, excuse me, millions of data points across all of the sports books, tracking all of these odds and identifying opportunities in which we're getting more favorable odds than the OddsJam no vig line. In this case, Fox Bet has this one mispriced. Pinnacle has this bet priced at minus 143. BetOnline has it at minus 130. DraftKings has it at minus 135. When I'm betting on player props, those are the three sports books I use to kind of set the market. So if I'm betting on a player prop and those three books are in alignment, and then there's another book that is an outlier to those three, that is something that I will hop on. In this case, it's an outlier to literally every book, except for Bet Rivers has it at minus 106. But look at every other book. So like we saw minus 143, minus 130, minus 135. Caesars, minus 142. FanDuel, minus 142. PointsBet, minus 140. BetMGM, minus 145. Every single sports book is heavily favoring the under. And we are getting it at plus 100 odds. So all in all the sharp sports books think this bet is going to hit roughly 53.74% of the time. These odds, or this win percentage, I should say, are pulled from the OddsJam perfect line no vig odds here. So all odds have an inherent win percentage associated with them. So this one being at the no vig odds at minus 116 has a win percentage of just below 54%, 53.74. And betting at something at plus 100 is 50-50 odds. So if you're placing 1,000 bets at plus 100, you win exactly 500, you will break even. Anything more than that, and you will be profitable. And this is telling us that for every 1,000 bets, this Ben Simmons one is going to hit roughly 530 times. So that gap, like the 530 between, excuse me, the 530 between the 500 is another way to view your positive expected value. So all in all, this is an, excuse me, an awesome play here. Ben Simmons under 6.5 assists. And here's another, the odds changed on this rebounds one, so that won't be a play. I was going to say there's another good one on the Ben Simmons rebounds, but the odds changed there. But the next play that I liked was odds change on that one. Let me give this one a refresh, work with the most up-to-date odds. Okay, so Ben Simmons rebounds is still a play, just at quite not as favorable odds. So this one is priced at minus 112 at Bet Rivers. The Novig odds price this at minus 118. So not as massive of a gap between the perfect line and the book that we were betting it at, but still a good play. Ben Simmons under 7.5 rebounds, minus 112. All in all, equates to a profit margin of about 2.5%. So as you can see, the smaller the gap between the perfect line and the book that we are betting it at, the smaller the EV percent. But this is still a good play. Look at the three main ones. DraftKings has this under at minus 140. BetOnline has this under at minus 135. Pinnacle has it at minus 143. Three of them are in alignment that this should be priced as a significantly more favorable outcome, significantly more likely to occur according to these sharp sportsbooks than the Bet Rivers line at minus 112. Can also get it at FanDuel at minus 114, PointsBet at minus 115. Those would all be positive expected value as well. But obviously, you're going to want to maximize your odds. So get this at minus 112 at Bet Rivers. As my second NBA player prop for today, fading Ben Simmons tonight. The next one that we are going to lock in here is this Yusuf Nurkic under 9.5 rebounds. So he won't get to 10. This is another play at Bet Rivers, plus 106 odds. The OddsJam line, Novig odds, calculates this to be at about plus 102, plus 101.61, so rounding up. And we're getting it at plus 106. So again, there's a gap between those two numbers. All in all, equates to a profit margin of about just above 2%. And again, let's look at the three main ones. DraftKings, BetOnline, and Pinnacle basically have this as a 50-50 outcome, right? Bet Rivers minus 115 each way. It's not favoring an over or an under, so it's basically telling you that they think that this play is 50-50. Same thing with BetOnline, minus 114 each way. 50-50. Same thing with Pinnacle. Same odds as DraftKings, minus 115 each way. So these three sharp sportsbooks are saying, hey, we don't really know what's more likely, Nurkic going over or under his 9.5 rebounds prop. So we're going to make it completely even to buy each way. Well, guess what? You can get this at plus 106 at Bet Rivers. So again, those three books are saying it's 50-50. If you're betting something at plus 106, that has a less than 50% win percentage. So if we go to the odds converter and we type in plus 106 odds, that has a win percentage of about 48.54%. So basically, if it does win 50% of the time, which is what these sportsbooks are telling us, we will be profitable because we only need to win 48.54% of the time in order to break even. So anything above this probability percent will be profitable. It's also plus money at FanDuel. If you don't have Bet Rivers, you can get it at FanDuel at plus 104, would still be a positive expected value play there. So this is going to be my third NBA player prop for today. Here's another one on Bet Rivers that I think is good. Kevon Looney under 16.5 points, rebounds, assists. Pinnacle actually heavily favors the under. They have the under at minus 123, the over at minus 108, heavily favoring the under. BetOnline is favoring the under as well, but not as aggressively. But BetOnline still thinks that the under is the more likely scenario. Bet Rivers for plus money, the only book offering plus money across the board. Most books either have it as a 50-50 outcome, like DraftKings, like Bet365, like Caesars. FanDuel slightly favors the over, but that doesn't concern me because they're the only one that does that, and they still have the under priced at minus 111. And then BetMGM favors this going under as well. So another example in which the sharpest sports books in the world are either having it at a 50-50 or as the favored outcome. In this case, minus 101 odds, minus 102 if we want to round up. And the only book that's giving this to us at plus money is Bet Rivers. So this is another really good play. This is going to be my fourth NBA player prop for today. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Kevon Looney under 16.5 points, rebounds, assists. And then the last one that I'm not going to lock in because the odds changed. Let me give this page another refresh, make sure we're working with the most up-to-date odds. So that one did change, but here's another good one. And this will be my last play of the day, is Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds, minus 112 at Bet Rivers. Novig odds at about minus 118. And look at where all the other books price it. Minus 154, minus 132. You can ignore these three, Monkey Knife Fight, Underdog, and Prize Picks, because they're DFS companies. So they have the same implied odds for everything. But then DraftKings, minus 140. FanDuel, minus 128. PointsBet, minus 125. BetMGM is the only book that's close at minus 115. And one thing that I haven't done yet is if you view the event page in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing not only the odds for the individual play we are taking, which is Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds, but also where every sportsbook is pricing this player prop in general. So nothing super helpful here, although Pinnacle prices this at minus 157. Not sure why that didn't show up here, but that's another that's another good play for us. Pinnacle are these two right here, pricing it at minus 157, heavily favoring it going over, excuse me. But the reason why we open up these plays in a new tab is to find examples like this. So this Steph Curry, this is rebounds. Every book has it at 5.5, except for WinBet, which has it at 6, as do some daily fantasy places as well. So this would probably be a good over to take at BetRivers. Granted, you're not going to love minus 136 odds because we see other books price it even a half point higher than what we are getting it at. So you're just basically looking for situations where other sports books might have it priced differently in your favor. But regardless, that is going to be it for me today. So tons of player props for you guys to lock in. I think that was 5 total. So if you do end up locking these in, comment and let me know. But that's all I got for you guys. So appreciate you all watching and have a good one.